The RuneScape map is split into chunks. I will restrict myself to unlocking one chunk at a time, only moving on when I've completed all of the content in my current chunks. The goal of this account is to unlock the entire map. This is ChunkManOnly, my one chunk at a time Iron Man. We left off last episode in the middle of our grind to 63 thieving and 70 agility. We were getting 63 thieving so we could use autumn squ'rk juice to boost to 65 and steal a summer squ'rk from sorceress's garden. We were getting 70 agility because our next chunk was Palnivniche, which has a level 70 rooftop course. We continued the grinds, mixing up the thieving training with a little bit of ham members to get some easy clues. I want to give a quick shout out to Gaming Tank for surprising me with a bond while I was training agility. I super appreciate it, man. Thanks so much. Anyway, now that we had 63 thieving, it was time to get the autumn squ'rk fruit from the sorceress's garden and make the squ'rk juice to boost and get the summer squ'rk. After spending a while figuring out the garden, we got the 3 squ'rk fruits we needed. I headed to the bank to withdraw a beer glass and a pestle mortar so we could make the juice. That's when I realized I don't have a pestle mortar. I have no way to get a pestle mortar, and I can't make the squ'rk juice without a pestle mortar. Well, damn, I guess that means I can't boost for this after all. So I went back to the Master Farmers and just got 65 thieving. I then completed as much of Death Plateau as possible and finally got the summer squ'rk fruit. And now it was finally time to move on to a new chunk. I unlocked the chunk north of Palnivniche, which had no content for me. I then unlocked the chunk with Palnivniche itself. I did a lap of the agility course and a few achievement diary tasks. I then completed the feud quest and the rogue trader minigame, which gave us access to the Ali Morrisane rune shop. This felt so good to finally unlock, as I won't have to kill hill giants for my cosmic and law runes anymore. With this done, I was already able to unlock another new chunk. Remember though, the next step in our plan is to go to Keldegrim and train to 70 smithing. This would require stealing from a gem stall, so I decided to grind my thieving before we went to Keldegrim. After getting almost all the way to my thieving goal, I decided to unlock some chunks. There were quite a few chunks with little to no content, so there was no reason not to go ahead and unlock them. First, there were quite a few desert chunks that I could unlock. Here we unlocked the agility pyramid, which thankfully didn't contain any grinds. The only other requirement we had to do in any of these chunks was to kill a vulture. Next was the Western Remington chunk with the chemist. Nothing to do here, so we quickly moved on. Our next chunk was the Western Falador chunk. Here, there were a few small things to do. We completed the Pirate's Treasure quest, did a few achievement diary tasks, and started the Night Sword and the Black Knight's Fortress quests. The next chunk was the one north of this. Here, we were able to complete Doric's quest. After this, we went to the Western Yanil chunk. We started the Hand in the Sand quest and moved our house to Yanil. We then took a break from unlocking chunks and finished our thieving goal. We were now ready to finally move on to Keldagrim. Before that though, we unlocked one more easy chunk, that being the Observatory chunk. We finished the Observatory quest and then finally started actually going to Keldagrim. We unlocked the chunk south of the Keldagrim entrance, which had no content, and then finally we unlocked Keldagrim. Now that we were in Keldagrim, we needed to figure out the best way to get 70 smithing. Usually, the course of action here on an Iron Man would be to buy gold ore from the shop and smelt it at the blast furnace. This isn't the best option for me though. There's two chunks in the Family Crest quest which contain adamant rocks, the Alcarid Mine chunk and the Edgel Dungeon chunk. This means that I can't get goldsmithing gauntlets, so smelting gold ore is not a good option. This leaves us with three possibilities: smithing iron, steel, or mithril. There's two factors that we want to consider when making our decision of what bars to smelt. How much ore do we need to buy, and how much money would we make or lose? In order to get to level 70, I need 510k XP. Each iron ore would give me 37.5 XP, so I would need to buy 13.6k iron ores. Each steel bar would give me 55 XP, so I would need to make 9,273 steel bars. This would require one coal for every iron though, so I need to buy 18.5k ores total. Each mithril bar would give me 80 XP, so I need to make 6,375 mithril bars. Requiring 2 coal each, that's 19.1k ores total. As you can see, smithing iron requires much less ore being bought. But what about GP though? It turns out that buying ores for steel and making plate bodies would just about break even, while making iron plate bodies would lose about 600k. We're not able to make mithril plate bodies because that's unlocked at level 68, so it'd be harder to figure out the money we'd make or lose from mithril, because we'd be switching between smithing different things as our level went up. In the end, I decided I wanted to do iron. Buying significantly less ore was good, and in the time we'd saved there, I could make some more money if necessary. We had just about enough money to buy all of the ores we need, and still have a little left over to pay for some of the blast furnace dwarves. So I got to work buying iron ore and training smithing. And that's all the progress I have for this episode. In the next episode, I plan to finish 70 smithing and probably go to Xanaris. There's a small issue I'm trying to work out though. When I unlock Xanaris, that unlocks both Chaeldar and mutated Zygomites. The Zygomites require level 57 Slayer, which means I'll be forced to get a Slayer task and try to train Slayer. I could, however, unlock Neve first, which would give us a 60 Slayer requirement of Aberrant Spectres instead of the 57 from the Zygomites. Just a few levels higher, so not much of a difference, but the tasks that these two Slayer Masters assign are very different, so I'd have to figure out which Master would be better for me to get a task from. If you'd like to help me theorycraft about what to do next, feel free to leave me a comment, or you could come in my Twitch stream and talk with me directly. I'll be streaming as soon as this video goes live, so if you're watching soon after this is released, come check out the stream and drop a follow. A link is in the description. As always, I'd like to give a shout out to my patrons, Kyle Berry and Boogie Boy. They've both continued to be very active in the streams and have been very supportive. Thanks so much to both of you, and to everyone who's been watching the videos and tuning into the streams. If you want to come chat with me and some of my friends and viewers, join my Discord. A link to that will also be in the description. And as always, if you enjoyed the video, please leave it a like and subscribe to the channel. It'll give me dopamine and I'd appreciate it a lot. Thanks so much for watching, and I hope you all have a great day.